Yeah, hi there. In this tutorial, we are continuing with the time series playlist. So we are going to cover uh, time series performance evaluation process. So it is important to evaluate the model, the forecast model that we have created. The accuracy of the forecasts can only be determined by considering how well a model performs on a new data that were not used when fitting the model. When choosing the models, it is common practice to separate the available data into two portions. So training data and the test data. So the training data is used to estimate any parameters of a forecasting method, and the test data is used to evaluate its accuracy. So unlike what we do in other machine learning models where we randomly split the data between train and the test set, we don't do such kind of a step in time series model. That is, we don't split the data randomly in a time series model. So in a time series model, the way we split the data is that we take the data and we split it in such a way that the training data is up to a certain point in time, and towards the right of it what we have is the test data. So that is, we don't mix and match training and test data. It's not like that the training data contains some data points uh, of this particular period, and then we have then test data, and then again we have training data. Not like that. So we take training data from one starting point of a timestamp and go up to another timestamp range, and anything after that is considered as a test data. So that's how. So for example, if I plot the data points that we have in a single line, then all these blue lines are considered as the training data and the red points as the test data. So the test data, so using this training data, we build our model, and then we test how good our model is on this test data. Okay, so that's how we do. So normally, typically what we do is we split the data between training and test such that there are roughly at least 80% observations in the training data, and we have around 20% observations in the test data. Um, there's another technique which is called as a cross validation technique. So it's a more sophisticated version of training and test split. So what happens in this procedure? There are a series of test sets, each consisting of a single observation. The corresponding training set consists of only observations that occurred prior to the observation that forms the test set. Thus, no future observation can be used in constructing the forecast. For example, we take one-step cross-validation. So what happens in one-step cross-validation? Let's say let's say there are these many data points are there in our data set. So in one-step cross-validation, we start from a data point from one timestamp, and up to a certain timestamp we select and we say that this is a training data set, and immediately next to it is a test data set, and whatever is left out is not considered at all because this is a one-step cross validation. So the timestamp where the training data set ends, the next data point, immediate next data point, is considered as the test data set. So what happens, we build a model using this much training data set, and then we predict for this corresponding to this test data set, or corresponding to the timestamp immediately next to it, and then we compare that forecasted value with this test data set, and we see how well or how good or bad our prediction is. Then in the next step we increase the training data set window by one timestamp value, and immediately next to it forms the test data set. So in this way we continue and we perform the same test by moving one step forward, that is expanding the range of, if you see the window of the training data set by one timestamp point towards the right, and accordingly gradually shifting the test data set point. So in this way we get for each of these models we get uh, we basically forecast a test value, and we calculate the different error statistics like we created earlier, for example RMSE, MAPE. Okay, so the how well our model is performing, it not depends on the average of what we get throughout this whole process. So the above diagram illustrates the series of training and the test sets, where the blue observations form the training sets and the red observation form the test set. The forecast accuracy is computed by averaging the test sets. So this procedure is sometimes known as evaluation on a rolling forecasting origin, because the origin at which the forecast is based rolls forward in time. So this is a process in which we are moving one step. That is why it is called as a one-step cross validation. Now it could be possible that we are forecasting more than one step ahead. It's not like that immediately next timestamp you want to forecast. Maybe we are forecasting 3 months ahead or 4 months ahead. So what happens in such case? Let's say we have this much of training data set, and I want to forecast 4 step ahead. That is what will happen 4 months down the line. And for example, let's say we have data set for month January, February, March, April, May, June, and we are in June, but we don't have, and we are in June, July, August, September, October, and we want to forecast for October. And right now we are in June. We don't have, these are the future data points which we don't have right now, but we don't want to, but we want to forecast for the fourth month ahead. So in such cases, this process is called as a multi-step forecast. So what happens? The cross-validation process, it is based on a rolling forecasting origin. It can be modified to allow multiple step errors to be used. So in this case, we have a training data set, and then there is a gap which we don't know. And after that, we are predicting for a test, that is, we are forecasting for the test data set. So in this way, we are gradually increasing the window of the training data set one step towards the right, and we are forecasting 4 months ahead, keeping the distance between the timestamp where the training data set ends and the timestamp for which we are making a forecast as the constant. So if you see between this blue point and this red point, there are 1, 2, 3 data points. Similarly here, similarly here. So we are just moving forward and keeping this distance between the last uh, timestamp of the training data set and the timestamp of the forecast constant. So this allows us, this multi-validation step allows us to forecast uh, n steps ahead. So basically this is the same as a one-step validation. The only difference is that we don't consider a few points to the immediate right of the last training data points, but rather we skip a few of those points to make forecast well into the future. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you.